Hello, and welcome back to the finale of the Doki Doki Leisure Club playthrough. So for this part, we're gonna show the best ending in the game you can get, as well as some of the extra stuff that can happen. For example, all these intros here, this is what can possibly happen after Act 1. Whenever you start the game, you get these messages here. I wasn't able to get all of them. There's one specific one that's funny that, which is like PM has died because of this, which is a reference to Project M. Here's some screenshots of the game. We've seen these in the playthrough, but they kind of went by so quickly, I just took a screenshot here just to show them off a little bit. Now, this happens whenever you delete everybody but Sayori, but I've read that you can just delete Monica and this still happens at the very beginning of the game. Yes, you can see that, it crashes the game, and then whenever you boot it back up, after that happens, yeah, so Sayori hangs herself. If you delete, I'm just gonna assume if you delete everybody but her in the game, and because of what we know, Sayori becomes aware of her situation if Monica's not around, and I guess she just drove her crazy at that point in time. Now, if you wait here for 10 minutes, which I cut to here, this message will actually pop up, and it does actually take 10 minutes in-game to for this to pop up here. Now, everyone can be happy. So this is also, this is another ending you can get in the game pretty early. Kind of messed up. But it gets you into that, experimentation. It's like, okay, what if I can delete Monica at the end of the game? What happens if I delete another character during the game and stuff like that? It makes you, think and whatnot. It makes you go out and try different things with the game, which is cool. Now, also, what I'm not showing in this part is other little extra stuff you could go and dig in, like the character files, if you like transform it into PNG files and sound files and whatnot. There's a lot of stuff you can do with the files themselves and within the files. But I'm not showing that off. That's most of it is like some of it's like little Easter eggs. Most of it seems like it's a hint towards another project that the guy is creating, which may or may not be connected to this game. So we'll have to see if anything ever comes of that. Okay, so for a majority of this, we are going to be here with Monica. These are conversations. I cut them up to where we're not waiting for in between these conversations. But these are conversations that didn't show up the first time around we saw these, and I still did not get every single one of them, just to make this part not too long. And I still didn't get the Sayori one I was been hunting for. I could never get that to pop up for whatever reason. But it's really messed up. Basically, the Sayori one, Monica talks about, Sayori's final moments when she hangs herself and she's trying to, even if it's like a last minute change or if she, just instinct of survival, tries to get the ropes off around her neck, how she did the hanging wrong, and then why her fingertips were bloody. It's, nasty stuff. But yeah, these are just some of the conversations I'm pretty sure didn't appear in the other Act 3 that we've seen. Without feeling attacked. You could say I'm personally not a fan of it, and I felt that I liked it more if it did X and Y, things like that. If you say I read on this website that it works like this, or if you admit that you're not an expert on it, then it's much more like you're putting your knowledge on the table rather than forcing it onto them. Now the music in this portion is going to be a little off because you're going to see the jump cuts in the background, but I wanted to keep the music at least not as jumpy. So I put the track that normally plays here on loop, and it's not perfect, but I wanted to make something a little bit better instead of just jump cutting music. Instead of just even though the footage itself is jump cut, and you'll tell because there are windows in the background, but still, it's a little something. I did buy the DLC for this game, to where the soundtrack is included, so that's pretty nice. And you also get some bonus tracks that you don't normally that's not in the game, and you also get concepts art of the characters, what the game was like before. Like in the alpha stages of the game, what the characters look like and whatnot. It's interesting. It's interesting stuff. They put a lot of things into it. Yeah. Listening to the sound of the rain. Man, I love rainy weather. Not like, well, even like not the extreme hurricane weather, but like even heavy rain. I love that weather. It's so nice. But I do apologize ahead of time if some of these are repeats, because I did went back in the video, that part, and make sure I didn't get any repeats. But, mistakes can happen. It happens. With enough willpower. What it's really like. Yeah, so a lot of Monica's topics are, not all of them, but some of them are pretty thought-provoking. So let's see. I guess we could talk about. Yeah. So it seems like I've mentioned it before. There are theories about this game, and some of the hidden files in this game that they're to reports and whatnot that may be connections to the next game project. From like computer AIs to all kinds of shenanigans. I'm really intrigued to see where we go from here, going into the next project, even if there's no connection whatsoever and they're just like hints towards the next game. I'm curious. Me personally, I don't feel like we need a connection to explain how Monica is what she is, and how Sayori becomes aware herself, like Monica, but not to the same extent. Like, so one theory is that, going based off the reports, it's like a prisoner stuck somewhere, and she managed to get her mind escape into this game. And from what I understand with this theory is, her mind becomes the game, but it's not her, but it is her at the same time. It's funny. But yeah, it's so many theories and whatnot. And even Monica makes a mention about the book Yuri was reading, with the eye. She makes like a passing comment about it in one of these conversations, which I didn't get. as well about how it reminds her. She's like, and forget about it. So something is in the works, whether it be connected to this game or these are just references to that next game with no actual connections. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how things turn out. But I will be. I'll definitely give it a shot. I will. Doesn't mean you're showing social interactions and hate people. Hate being around people. I mean, social interactions, especially in groups or unfamiliar places, use up a lot of energy. I can understand that. Oh, okay, so I'm actually on Dan, the creator of Doki Doki Literature Club's Twitter. I was kind of see if he had any updates. You know what, I need to go ahead and follow him. Let me do that. Okay. Okay, now I'm following him. Okay, so this was 6 days ago, so it is about the start of the new year. This will be the year I reclaim my happiness so I can deliver it to others. My goal is to fully return to doing things I enjoy, such as making games. Okay. First, releasing new Doki Doki Literature Club content, not a sequel. Then, blowing the dust off the next original visual novel, which has been on hold for 2 years. That's his pinned tweet. Nothing happened with the video while I dropped my phone on the keyboard. But, anyway. So, yeah, so last year he did say in his pinned tweet that he had something planned for Doki Doki Literature Club. He's saying the same thing beginning of this year, so hopefully something comes up. And it's saying content. So we'll see. So it sounds like if it is going to be Doki Doki Literature Club content, like actual game content and not like merchandise content, it is going to be an expansion. So that'll be really interesting. So even though this is the finale of this video, for now, if this ever comes, then I might have to change this part to part 19 instead of the finale. I mean, it's still part 19, but anyway. But I always thought spicy food was kind of weird. I like spicy foods. That actually enjoys spicy things. It's like we're making fun of the plants, those jerks. But no, spicy foods is great. Go spicy foods. Like you mentioned, monitor the finally should hold your life while being digested. That was kind of a weird analogy, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of weird, Monica. That's a fetish. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, then okay. But I mean, not personally myself into. I'm not a monster or anything, but you're so good I could eat you up. All right, okay, cool. Thanks. Good to know, Monica. I'm amusing myself a little too much, aren't I? this is going into the educational system. Oh, boy. I feel like I talked about this before during this playthrough. So I might be a broken record, but America's educational system is in need of some work. I mean, it's been 10 plus years since I've been in high school. So maybe things have changed for the good or for the worse. But, like, I had some, in terms of, like, actual education, I had bad experiences during high school. So I firsthand can say that the high school system is pretty bad. And I would hope that maybe one day we can catch up, because there's some countries that have fantastic educational systems, from what I understand, that I wish I could have had those experiences. Because I know for sure I mentioned this before, because it's sad when I say the two most useful skills from high school I took away. Obviously, you got your basic math and whatnot in English, which, I'm an expert at English, hooray. But, no, the two skills I took out of high school the most is keyboarding and being social. And that's really sad. College, I've never had experience with. I took one online college course, regretted it, and I have not been to college since. And I took that online course literally right after high school, which, in my opinion, in and of itself had some issues, but maybe I was to blame partially on it, because I don't know. It's just, I can say it was not right for me, but at the same time, I will say there was some faults with it. My personal opinion. Yeah. Now, I wouldn't mind going back and taking some classes, but not specifically college. Like, I wouldn't mind going to take a class on writing, if that ever comes up in this area. I wouldn't mind doing that, like creative writing, some writing tips and whatnot. And, just like small classes like that. Not a whole full-blown class course and whatnot. Be able to be here with me. Like if you need to go out or take care of other things. Yeah, that is life. Come to think of it, if you copy my character file onto a flash drive or something, you can always keep a part of me with you. So that's interesting that when you make a copy of her, that it's still her. It's not an exact copy. So Monica's Legion? I mean, that's an interesting, thing, a topic, So, it's not necessarily a copy of her, it's still her. It's kind of scary. Did you say kiss? No, I actually did not. Really couldn't keep a straight face there. Oh, okay. She's pulling the old leg. Say it's in these kind of romantic games, right? Not just romantic games either. It's, anime too and whatnot. Don't lie if it turns you on a little bit. I'm kidding. Unless you want to push those car beds together. But that'll be our secret. Hey, do you like horror? Do I like horror? Yeah, I think I like horror. I can enjoy horror novels, but not really horror movies. Yeah, I know a lot of people complain about horror movies. Sometimes you do just want a slasher movie. And that's fine. I'm probably in the same boat. Yeah, I'm definitely more in the same boat. I enjoy horror movies, but when it comes to horror movies, I tend to kind of stay away from them. Unless it's like classic horror movies, like Dracula, Frankenstein. I love those. I try to watch some more horror movies, though. I try to get some under my belt. Because I feel like as an aspiring writer, I want to go out and experience other stories to be influenced. And, you know, come up with ideas based on that and whatnot. And one of these days, I'm going to write a book. That's something on my bucket list, is to write a book. And I like to experience stuff like this, you know. It's you know, I like stuff like this. And I try to take in all kinds of different types of media, like anime, for example. There's so many types of animes that I'll go try out a new anime, even though it's not necessarily something my cup of tea. But I do want to give it a shot, just to have that experience, you know, that just to see what's the up, I guess. I think I'm making sense. Basically, Monica is saying here, you know, usually horror, the best kind of horror is when something's just not quite right in a normal scenario. And I can understand that. Like, you know, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, you know, you're having a conversation with somebody and then you just hear, whenever this person talks or whatnot, it's just something's not quite right. You're still having a normal conversation, but it's just that thing is slightly off. Like, just things like that, that slight offness can be very, you know, can put you at unease. Make you uneasy. Oh, don't you believe it, Monica. All the time. Be like a prison. Now, social media... Well, I guess YouTube is social media. Never mind. Something you can't just make this. You can just make disappear with your own willpower. It's tough. Addiction is very, very tough. I've seen it firsthand. Monica actually gives some pretty good advice here, if you ask me. For example, there are apps that let you block websites for intervals of time. Or you can set a timer to have a more concrete reminder of when it's time to work versus play. Or you can separate your work and play environments, which helps your brain get into the right mood. Even if you make a new user account on your computer, you use that for work, that's enough to help. You know, it's the little things. If you just take that little step, you'll feel like you're making progress. Yeah, here, like, putting any kind of wedge like that between you and your bad habits will help you stay away. It just takes that little bit of a start. That's the most important thing. You know, it kind of sucks to be the creative type. Uh-oh. It feels like they work so hard. You know, like artists, writers, actors. It's sad because there's so much beautiful talent in the world, but most of it goes unseen and unpaid. That's sad, unfortunately. Unfortunately true. Kind of makes you feel like you're not special at all. But that's fine. You're supposed to just write for yourself anyway, right? Well, that's not necessarily true. Some people do write to have, you know, to entertain. Alright, so that's enough of the Monica stuff. So we kind of cut a little bit into the fourth act here, right when we are introduced to the club again, without Monica. So this ending is like the first ending we saw in the previous parts. But we unlocked the best ending you could possibly get in this game. And to do that, you have to see every girl's event. You know, your image event. And it's alright if you save and load multiple times, because the game does acknowledge when you do it. But once you do that, you get this ending. It's slightly different from what we normally saw, but you won't see the difference till the very end here. But I included this little bit here, just, I don't know, just because. Wow, those look amazing. Don't just say that. Sorry, I was looking at some Twitter. Going back to that social media thing, I guess. But yeah, we've seen this a little bit before here. It won't come until Sayori kind of has her one-on-one. Because remember last time Sayori tried to take us to the Monica room, I guess you could call it. And Monica's just like, no! Hold up. You ain't doing that. Yuri has to read the manga. Just a little bit. Oh, look at that. They're gonna do some book shopping together. Sayori. Sayori, shut up. Let them have their moment. I guess the meeting's over, huh? It's nice to see everyone getting along, isn't it? I think everyone likes you too, Dish. You think so? Well, everyone always seems to get along a little better with you around, Sayori. I really want to thank you. This is where it starts to change a little bit. But the truth is, I already knew you were going to. There's actually something else. I wanted to thank you for spending so much time with all of us. With us all. You worked so hard to make each and every one of us happy. You cover us through our hard times. And you helped us all get along with each other. Do you get it, Dish? Because I'm president now, I understand everything. You really didn't want to miss a single thing in this game, did you? See, when Sayori takes over Monika's thing, it seems like Sayori doesn't have the full knowledge that Monika has. So I'm assuming Sayori would be able to get to that point if given more time, but it's hard to say. That's all I ever wanted. For everyone to be happy and care about each other. It's kind of sad, you know. After all you've done for us, there isn't much I can do for you in return. We've already reached the end of the game. I know it's kind of weird, but I do get that feeling from time to time on certain games. Like, when you get to the credits, and you've done everything you can for in the game, you just get that... It's hard to explain. You get that feeling. Come visit sometime, okay? We'll always be here for you. But yeah, I completely understand that feeling. Because it's mostly RPGs where I'll get that feeling. I think RPGs is the only time I really get that feeling, truth be told. But we got the credits here, and they're about the same.
Can you hear me?
I'm still kind of curious what this broken up image of Monika is. Because it looks different than any other image we've seen.
I've been, like, practicing piano and stuff, and not really any good at it yet, like, at all. But I wrote you a song, and I was kind of hoping that I could show it to you, because I worked really, really hard on it. So, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for Doki Doki Literature Club. It's been a little bit of an interesting ride. I started this last year and pretty early on in the year, and now it's 2020. I'm finally getting it done. So yeah, I should have got this done a lot sooner. But Doki Doki Literature Club. I think the game's great. It does something different with the genre. Which is what the creator set out to do. He likes these kind of games where, you know, they do something different. And Doki Doki Literature Club is something different. And a lot of people I've seen actually said this is their favorite, you know, indie game. Because of it. I like it. I like Doki Doki Literature Club. It's great. It's, just about one of my favorite visual novel games. I can safely say that. But unlike the previous credit scroll, the images aren't being deleted, and you'll see where we have everyone colored, which is nice. But yeah, Doki Doki Leaders Club. This is the final part until it seems like the creator does come up with some more content for the game, which I will be definitely coming back to. So even though this is the final part for now, it might not be for long. Who knows? But I want to thank everybody who came out to watch Doki Doki Leaders Club playthrough. I know it's more... I've noticed it's not... It's a little bit different with visual novel playthroughs. They're a little bit different to... They're a little bit harder to do playthroughs for. I understand that. But anybody who checked it out, thank you for checking out. Go play Doki Doki Leaders Club. It's fun. It's a good time. I want to thank ARPA, who kind of initially... My buddy ARPA, who initially kind of got the gameplay... the idea of doing this playthrough started. By telling me he actually checked out the game. So I'm like, you know what? I can actually do that, because I actually played Doki Doki Leaders Club beforehand. So I've already beaten it, so let me start a playthrough of that. And it only took a whole year. Well, maybe a little less than a year, but anyway. Yeah, Doki Doki Leaders Club. I'm really not good with these outros, but it's cool. It's a nice game. Go check it out. They got some stuff in their store, so if you're a big enough fan of the game, there is some merchandise for it, which is pretty cool. They actually released a fountain pen. I think that's what they're called. I actually picked that up. And then we have a heartfelt message by Dan. So yeah, instead of Monica's message, you get a message from the creator himself. Going into detail about a lot of things here. I'm gonna leave it up here for anybody who wants to read it, but it's a good message. If you want to pause it to read it here, it's a nice, touching message. So yeah, this has been Digimon Pal. This has been the Doki Doki Literature Club video or playthrough for the while now, and after this, we will be going back to Little Princess, which I know it's been a while since I've done a video on those. And those won't take us long. Those are all edited. Those are all ready to go. It's just a matter of me sitting down and commentate over all of them. So yeah, Little Princess coming up with maybe some Unlimited Saga parts thrown in here and there. And then after that, we will be finally getting to Spider the Dragon. And then I got other plans I've said before, but we're reaching to the end of the video. So once again, thank you for everybody who's watched. Thank you to Dan for making this game and the other people who helped make this game. Doki Doki Literature Club. It's a good game. It's very nice. 2 thumbs up.